Okay, so we're on there. Come here. Just a very quick question. Did you especially do your hair just for this Zoom call, or what's the story?
Listen, listen. At least I've got hair.
Hair as well.
It's ginger.
You mean in, you mean
Keep
in
that
general,
on.
like?
No, I just got out of
Come here.
shower.
Let's get to the point. Let's get to the point. And you were asking about shin splints. Okay,
Yes.
so just tell me exactly what the problem is. What is it? What's the issue?
Well, I go walking every day now. Okay, thanks to you. I do about 15k. The first 4k
Yeah.
shin splints. I'm just hobbling because after 4k it's fine. It's just that initial 4 or 5k I do. They're especially left leg. It's just a nightmare. I'm just hobbling through the first few k, and then it goes.
Yeah.
So I think is there something I can do back stretching before I can go actually out and walk.
So,
I've had shin splints for years. It's prevented me from running and doing plenty of things.
Yeah. So there's a couple of things there. I when you say prevented you from running, like the it's pretty common. Like shin splints are quite common with a lot of people, and there's a misconception sometimes about what it is. I mean, one of the diagnoses can be that it's kind of like micro fractures in the shin bone and the muscle pulling away in the bone. But in a lot of cases, it tends to be just the stress and on the kind of bone itself and that kind of bending. Do you know what I mean? The extra stress on the bone, like when you're trying to run or jog or what have you. You've also come, I would suggest, from not having done very much of that stuff recently. Would that be fair enough? Like
that's very true. Yeah.
Yeah. So you've basically ramped up your activity levels through the roof, which is fantastic. But that has definitely put extra stress and load onto the shin bone. And are you getting that kind of pain down the front of the shin, kind of about a third of the way down, sort of halfway down the shin?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and you were saying that you walk and then it might ease off.
It eases off after a few k, like I said, about 4 or 5k, then it sort of disappears, and then it's okay after that.
Yeah,
it's the initial 4.
So and do you do anything? And so do you do anything to kind of ease the pain, or have you taken anything, or ice or anything like that? Anything at all?
No, not really, because the time I finish my walk and get home, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's just when I'm actually out walking.
So look, the main thing you got to work on from a longer term perspective is to work on strengthening, muscles kind of from your hips down effectively. That's the main area of focus. If it bothers you, unfortunately, the bad news is that the best advice tends to be rest and do less of it for a few days until it eases off, and then go back at it slower, or maybe dial the volume down a little bit. You can treat it a little bit, you can ice it, you can do whatever you need to do to kind of treat the pain in the short term, but strength work and strengthening work over the longer term is what's going to get you to the position where it hopefully isn't as bad,
Okay.
So a lot of the stuff that you're doing in your training sessions are gonna serve you, are gonna benefit you. But just please bear in mind that you've gone from a kind of a lower baseline to doing a huge amount now. You know what I mean? You're doing like 15,000 steps is 10 kilometers plus. And so I'd probably suggest that if it doesn't go away, it doesn't ease off with sort of a little bit of treatment or pain relief or the strength work that you're doing, that you bring the volume right down and you go at lower volumes and a slower pace, enough that allows you to move, and then build that up again slowly to try and build up your strength. That's going to be the best approach in the longer term. If it doesn't sort of ease off, like you have to be consistent with that as well. So for example, if it doesn't ease off, then it might, if it's something a bit more chronic, it might need to be looked at, but it's unlikely. It's usually the case that you scale it back, build the volume up slowly, but really work on strengthening, particularly the calf muscles, and kind of muscles, leg muscles in general, and muscles around the hips. So the likes of your squats and your lunges and bilateral single leg stuff, like all of the exercises you're doing are going to be really good for you and benefit you in terms of trying to prevent that, and that's what you want. You want to prevent it from happening. You don't have to treat it. Does that make sense?
True. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I don't need to,
like what do you think based on that you could do or should do?
I was, like you said, probably scale it back. Like I've gone from 0 to 100 in the last 3 weeks of doing, exercises that I haven't done in 20 years.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm pushing it too much too soon.
A lot of stress. It's a lot of strain, and it's not a bad thing. It's great that you're doing it, but it's a feedback, it's feedback, and it's that you need to listen to your body a little bit. And
True.
in some way, the question you're asking me is, Dave, how can I work around this pain?
Yeah, because I want to keep walking. I want to keep doing 50 a day.
So, sometimes you just have to take the patient approach. That is what works, and it'll serve you well in the long run. I think it's great also in that, I mean, it shows that you're really working hard and pushing hard, so but would you be clear on what you should be doing next?
Sorry. Yeah, definitely. The thing I found is, like, I walk. No, normally I don't. I walk 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Okay. This weekend I didn't do anything regarding walking, and I went out this morning and I could really feel the pain.
Yeah.
And I felt like, okay, maybe it's because I didn't do the 7 days.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Maybe it's my thinking it's backwards. I should be doing walking 7 days, not taking any rest. And that's why the pain was so bad this morning, because I didn't do anything for the last 2 days.
Yeah, not necessarily. It's more just down to that fact that you've been doing a lot recently, and your body has to adapt to that. So, like, the strengthening stuff is going to help you. Calf strengthening exercises, quad strengthening, hamstring strengthening, like everything that runs right through that kind of kinetic chain from your hips all the way down. You want to strengthen up. Do you understand?
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
So what are you gonna? So what's the plan of action then to try and eat to try and deal with it?
Yeah, like I said, regarding the hybrid, as you said, there's enough exercise in there to help build it up. I'll cut back maybe to 5,000 steps, gradually, and build it up again.
Yeah.
Over the weeks.
Yeah.
And then see how it goes. 5,000, 7,000, 10,000, and then see what it's like.
Yeah, exactly. And then come here. What you can do is check back in with me. Maybe give it a week and just see how it is at that stage, and we can have another chat. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Sound.
But you're not doing anything wrong. You're pushing hard. You're doing really well. So keep it up.
Excellent. Thanks very much.
All right.
Cheers, Dave.
Listen, thanks a million, and we'll catch up with you later.
Talk to you soon, mate. Cheers.